Hello and welcome to this edition of What the Hell Just Happened? The vlog that dances to every tune, but never has to pay the piper. I'm your host, Martin Ganapoler. Well, this week has had more front page headlines than we have daily newspapers. But we begin with the Electoral College voting on Monday to confirm that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will indeed be sworn in on January 20th of next year. This came as no surprise to any rational person. The current president was extremely surprised. So he tried to get into the Electoral College to persuade them to change their vote over to him. He discovered that without his daddy's help, he still can't get into college. Yet he continues to bilk his sorry-ass supporters out of more dough, over $200 million since November, by insisting that the election was a fraud and that he was going to keep fighting and run for president again in 2024. Oh, joy to the world. In the meantime, his toadies and sycophants continue to swear fealty to the American emperor, even to the death, resulting in the neo-fascist group Proud Boys standing up and standing in, fully armed, to protest the election results. Several people were injured, or as we call it, Monday. Here's some good news, though. The first shipment of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine shipped out of their facility in Kalamazoo. This has created almost as much excitement as the Viagra launch of 1998, but will probably last longer. The excitement, I mean. Unfortunately, because Moscow Mitch and the rest of the Red Square Republicans have refused to pass a new COVID relief package, there is neither the money nor a comprehensive plan to distribute and dispense the vaccine in the states that are scheduled to receive it. And many of these states are receiving only a fraction of what they were promised. Still, we're all experiencing a moment of new hope and a feeling of optimism. But then that's how I felt when they announced they were making a movie from the musical Cats. Meow. Also this week, Attorney General Bill Barr quit and was fired by the president so that he'd have more time over the holidays to spend with his family. His real family, not his crime family. I guess he didn't want to preside over the Oprah-like awarding of presidential pardons in the last days of Big Donnie's presidency. You get a pardon, and you get a pardon, and you get a pardon. Look in your mailbox, because everybody gets a pardon. It was also revealed this week that Russian hackers penetrated some U.S. agencies and have been collecting top-secret data for months. Not to worry, though, because these were only small potatoes agencies like the Pentagon, the National Security Agency, Nuclear Power Grid, Department of Homeland Security, State, and the Treasury, to name a few. This begs the question, was the president asleep at the wheel or driving the bus? And President-elect Biden continues to name cabinet appointments. This week he chose Representative Deb Haaland, the Native American woman from New Mexico, as Secretary of the Interior. Representative Haaland will be the first of her ethnic background to head the Interior Department, which includes the Bureau of Indian Affairs. For the first time, Native Americans will have one of their own, providing the protection and services that only the federal government can bring. And it's about frickin' time. Next item. What if they threw a party and nobody showed up? This is exactly what happened to Secretary of State Mike the Pimp Pompeo this week. He invited 900 staffers to an indoor party in D.C., 200 RSVP'd, but only 70 showed up. I guess the opportunity to pose for a photo with Mistletoe Mike couldn't hold a candle to the treat of contracting COVID for the new year. Meanwhile, down in Florida, the police entered the home of Rebecca Jones with guns drawn. Despite the two young kids that were running around in their onesies, Jones was handcuffed and let out. She was the data specialist who had designed the public health COVID-19 dashboard for the state of Florida. She'd previously been terminated from her job when she refused to massage the reporting data to match Governor Ron Not the Santa's announcements. The reason the cops busted her and took all her computers was that someone sent an unauthorized chat message out to a few hundred Floridians imploring them to wear masks and maintain social distancing. Oh. She didn't send the message, but they blamed her anyway and carted her off to the Who's Gal. You gotta love Florida. whose COVID numbers top over 1 million cases and over 20,000 dead as of this week. Finally, we're seeing the delayed effects from the election on Republican members of Congress. It's basically divided into two factions. Some will be making the lemmings march off the Trump cliff of no return, and others will grudgingly admit that the autocratic experiment failed, and that they guess they'll just have to go back to stonewalling and smearing Democrats, who will now be running the show. We'll see how that goes. So that wraps up this week in review for me. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays to you all. And please remember to wear your mask, keep your distance, wash your hands frequently, and I'll see you around the campus. Until then, bye for now.